Hello, I'm here at the BBC Studios in Maida Vale in West London, which is home to the BBC Symphony Orchestra, and I'm delighted to be joined by the Finnish composer Kaija Saariaho. Kaija, just tell me what Beethoven means to you as a composer born 250 years ago.
It's quite interesting because Beethoven for every musician, professional musician, means a lot of things, which in the beginning, of course, we all play his music, but then we also analyze his music. That's an official program all over the world. And then over the years, you little by little, you start understanding that analysis, it was just a little surface. And in fact, we speak about ever-changing, innovative and energetic music. And I think only when you are professional, you fully understand the craft and the finesse and all the very different character of this music. So Beethoven is somebody who is always present in composer's life.
So it's as if there are a huge number of levels to Beethoven. You can listen, if you know very little about music, you can listen to the Eroica Symphony or the Pastoral Symphony or the Hammer Clavier or the Moonlight Sonata and derive enormous amounts of pleasure from hearing those works. Or you can dig deeper and deeper and deeper and learn more and more and more about his musical world.
Yes, I mean, of course, when we listen to the first time, or if you are not a musician, you can appreciate the beautiful melodic invention. You can enjoy the energy, the rhythmic energy, or the dramatic turns in music. And then, of course, on more professional level, you are really interested in seeing how he has built that all. And because it's his music, as with all great composers, the connection with his person is so direct. So we hear the personality, we hear the person through the music. And that's what makes it so lively.
How much does he influence you as a composer?
You know, this kind of influences of composers with whom I've lived now for a very long time, I cannot measure. And when one listens to my music, it doesn't sound very Beethoven influenced. But certainly I have admired very much his innovation and make lively even the most repetitive formal structures. So I imagine through that admiration, he has brought something also to my music.
The European Broadcasting Union has commissioned you to write a short piece between 1 and 1.5 minutes long for full symphony orchestra to celebrate Beethoven 250, to be played before each of the broadcasts of concerts from cities across Europe being broadcast to Europe and beyond. That's quite a brief. I wonder where you started when you took out your manuscript paper and began work.
Well, I was asked to write something which would be my music, but which would remind people of Beethoven. So I was thinking, I'm not going to fake Beethoven. I would rather find some phrases where his character and his music is really recognizable. So I took 2 short passages from the Second Symphony, and then I started imagining, well, no, it was simultaneously, it was at the same time. I imagined what could be the meeting points with my music and his. And so the chords from the Second Symphony, I also like chords, full orchestra chords, and then I was thinking that it would be good to have one pair of contrasts, and that is, of course, the texture. His texture and especially in the finale where it's just very much about the physical energy, and me, on the other hand, very much about the color.
I got a sense of the cosmos, of stars, of kind of a sense of looking up into the sky and this infinite wonder that you see. And I wonder if that was a thought in your mind of how Beethoven sits within that. Beethoven as a living musician 220, 230 years ago, and Beethoven now as someone we revere.
Well, maybe it's also, maybe my feeling was like reaching for him or going to meet him. In fact, if you really start thinking about it, and I had to think about it quite a lot in my working room, it's quite intimidating, finally, in fact, with this Beethoven. So maybe it was, yes, maybe I was trying to find my way towards him.
Kaija Saariaho, thank you.
Thank you.